Hi folks, I'm Ian Baker, the product specialist with Camping World, and today we're going to go over the 2018 Heartland Mallard 185. This is a nice single axle bunk model, has a lot of amenities in here as well, both inside and outside. Let's start off on the ceiling right here. So one of the things you'll notice is in a small camper like this, a lot of times they'll give you a wall mounted unit, but instead they did go with the 13.5K BTU roof mounted AC, which will certainly keep it nice and cool in here. I also like the fact that we went with a different panel than just like the plain white that a lot of manufacturers use. Just helps give it a little bit nicer aesthetic. LED lights throughout the ceiling as you would expect, and a couple speakers over here in case you want to listen to some music inside. When we go over to this side and take a look at our kitchen, normally, you wouldn't have very much prep space here. You'll see it's all taken up, but I do like the fact they gave you dual sink top covers here because that does let you use this for prep space. Both of these are cutting board quality. If you use them for cutting boards, I do recommend flipping them over. That way all your knife marks are on the bottom here. When I remove both of those, you see the double bowl sink there, larger bowl on the left, smaller on the right. And you also have a high-rise pull-down faucet. This is really nice too. This is something you usually don't get in a smaller RV like this. Generally you have to go to something a little bit bigger, but that's another nice amenity that they have included. Right over to this side is your 3-burner cooktop. So again, instead of going with the smaller 2-burner, they did go with the larger 3-burner, which is much easier to use. If we take a look at some of the storage underneath, directly underneath the sink here, you see nice open storage. I really like the fact they did this because right over here you can actually fit, a good sized trash can. You don't have to fight with the P-trap or anything over there. So they gave you a dedicated spot for that, and I really like when manufacturers do that. And then right over here, in lieu of an oven, they give you additional storage. And again, in a camper this size, I think it's almost necessary because you have to have a place to put, some of your pots and pans and stuff, and this gives you a little bit of added storage for that purpose. If we take a look up top, you'll notice a couple different things here. If we take a look, actually, right over to the side, we'll start here. You see your multimedia center right there. So this unit is your radio and CD player, controls the speakers both inside here as well as the speakers outside. It's also a DVD player. It's already built in, which is great. So if you want to watch a movie, you can pop a DVD in right there. Then you'll see your hookups are right in this cabinet. So the reason I like this is not everyone brings a TV, and if you don't want a TV, great. You have a shelf here, you have all this extra space. If you do want a TV, again, there are your hookups, electrical outlets already in there. You can remove this shelf if you want, but it does give you a couple options there. Microwave over to this side, and then your fully functional hood with your light and fan directly underneath that. And as we step back, you get into the Dometic fridge-freezer combo. You can see there's plenty of room in there. This unit does run off both propane and electric and also has automatic switchover. Right underneath is your furnace. Now this one does have a duct run into the bathroom, which is really nice too. So not only is it nice and toasty out here, but it'll make sure that your bathroom is comfortable as well, even on those cold mornings. I love the doors in the Mallard. You'll see that they actually have a design on here. Most doors are just plain and kind of boring, but I like this. You walk in, you look at the back of the camper, just has a little bit of pop and eye appeal. As we take a step into the bathroom itself, you'll see straight ahead is that foot flush lever toilet. Right to the left of that, you can see that, that little heat duct I was talking about right down there. And then right next to that is your tub shower. Now it is a little bit smaller tub shower, a little bit shorter rather. So if you're really, a tall person, if you're 6 foot or higher, you're probably going to have to duck down a little bit in here. But either way, I do like the fact it's a tub because if you have kids that need to take a bath, you can still give them a bath there. You'll see you have your hand wand and some shelves built in as well. You also have a mirrored medicine cabinet right up here above the toilet. So it does have a mirror on there so you can see yourself as well as storage behind it. And then your vent fan up top to quickly help moisture escape. As we step back out of the bathroom, right over here to this side are your 2 bunks. Again, this is a nice bunk model, 200-pound weight capacity here. You have the Teddy Bear Bunk series, so it's nice and smooth. And then if you take a look right down there, you see the extra door. So this is really cool because if you don't, have the kids coming, or even if you do and you just want some extra storage while traveling, this bottom bunk actually lifts up and you have access from outside. It creates a ton of extra storage. And that's something that's generally, at a premium when you're traveling, especially in a smaller floor plan like this. So to be able to lift that bunk up and have that storage is great. I'll show you that a little bit more when we step outside. Right over here is your dinette. This way the family has a place to sit and have a meal together or play a game. This does drop down into a bed. It's really simple. This is actually an indoor-outdoor table. So if you want, you can take this outside. You see it has the legs right here. The legs simply fold up. You will notice it's attached to the wall right there. That way it's not just, free floating around. I like the fact they actually kind of secured it down, but you just pop it up out of there. Again, you can take it outside. You can drop it down. It'll sit along these rails if you want a bed. Take the back cushions, put them on top. There is an electrical outlet down there as well. So if you need to sit at the table and work on like a laptop or tablet, you have a place in which you can plug that in. Right up top here, I love this. You have the cool decorative glass, looks really nice, and it is strut assisted. That's something you see when you start stepping into some nicer campers, is the struts, just because it's easier one-hand operation. You don't have to hold it open with a hand. And with overhead compartments, it is really handy to have that. As you'd expect, you also have a couple LED lights underneath there to help brighten up your dinette. Right up front is the queen size bed. You see you also have a couple of LED lights there. Directly above that, you have your shelf. So if you need to store any extra clothes or anything up there, you can. And then right over here to the side, you have mirrored wardrobe. We open that up. See the hanging rod going across the top there. And then right underneath, you have a nightstand with a cubby hole and an electrical outlet in case you need a place to charge your phones at night or plug in a machine like a CPAP. Now that we've seen the inside, let's take a quick look at some of the outside features on the Mallard M185. Right up front, you have your two 20-pound propane tanks with the cover. Easy to get in there, folks. Just undo these thumb screws, lift up the door, and that will get you to your tanks. Behind that, you see rails right here for your battery. And then coming up the front is black diamond plating, which helps protect the front end from some of the rocks and debris that will get thrown up by your tow vehicle. So we step around to the sides, take a quick look at the pass-through. A couple things I really like on here. One, you'll see it has a covered hinge. That way your hinge isn't getting all rusty. It also has a slam latch, which is great. Makes it nice and easy to shut. You don't have to worry about any tabs or anything turning. And you also have a magnetic lock up there. So you just put that up, stays up there nice and easily. If we take a look inside the pass-through, a couple things you'll notice. One, you do have some LED lights, as you'd expect. That way you can get in here at night. Nice, convenient tool to hang your stabilizer jack handle there. And you can also see how nice and clean this pass-through is. You don't have anything hanging down in here. Everything is finished off the way you would expect on a higher-end lightweight camper. So we step back a little bit further, you see two foldable stairs here to get into the RV, nice and simple. The second one, it really helps, that way you don't have this huge step to have to jump up in there. Even though it is a lower profile, again, it is just a nice addition having that second step. All the way along the top, you have a power awning, touch a button to roll that out, same thing to have it go right back in. It does have an adjustable pitch on there, as you would expect, and also an LED light strip, so that way if you want light at night, you can just flip that switch and you don't have to get up there and hang up lights. Outside speakers, as I had mentioned, those are controlled by that multimedia center inside. However, that unit is Bluetooth capable, so if you want to sit out here underneath your awning with your phone or your tablet and you want to be able to control that, by all means, you can do so. Electrical outlet right out here. Want to plug anything in, this is the place to do it. Phone, crock pot, whatever else it may be, you can plug it in right there. Take a look down below for me there. A couple things. One of them is the tire. You have the wheel rather. It's a beautiful aluminum alloy wheel, which on a smaller camper like this, again, is not something you get very often. Usually they're just your normal steel rim. I love the fact that it's aluminum. It looks super awesome, and it will continue to do so because aluminum doesn't rust. Also, nitrogen-filled tires here, so hopefully it'll hold that tire pressure for a longer period of time. One of the things you can't see quite as easily, and something that you almost never see on a camper this small, this one does have an enclosed underbelly, folks. So, again, usually you have to go on a bigger camper to get that. That helps keep the rodents out, a lot of the road grime and stuff that gets thrown up there as well, and it helps you camp in some colder temperatures. Speaking of that, 2-inch thick walls on here. Again, something in this size, when you're looking at a laminated product, a lot of manufacturers go to 1.5-inch wall thickness. So having that full 2-inch thick wall, this is the same construction you'll get, on your large 32-foot travel trailer. So, definitely a bonus, and so you know that this coach is well built. If we take a look right underneath here, you also see a propane quick connect. If you're one that likes to cook outside, especially if you got the kiddos, you can hook a grill up to that, a cooktop, whatever you want, and that way it feeds off your two 20-pound tanks instead of having to bring the small green ones. On the back here, you see mounted on your bumper is your spare tire with a cover. Hopefully you never have to use this, but in the event that you do, you know it's riding right back here, which is great because it's probably the easiest location to get to, and it should be in good shape thanks to the cover here. Right up top, you'll see this one's also prepped with a backup camera. So even though this is a shorter RV, folks, having a backup camera is not a bad idea, especially if you don't have a great spotter. You know, it'll help make sure you're not going to hit anything, or more importantly, anyone. Come around to the side here, so it's a little tight as we make our squeeze in here, but I mentioned this door right here in the bunk area. So the cool thing about this, you open this up, and if you take a look inside, this is your bottom bunk right here. You'll see there's a handle. Take a look at that, folks. Strut assisted, nice and easy to lift up, drops down just as easy there, locks into place for you. And look at all of this room you have in here. So this is great additional storage. Right here on the off-door side, you will also see you have your 30-amp detachable power cord there, as well as your cable inlet. And then right underneath is your termination with both your gray and black valves. Making our way up a little bit further, right here is your city water inlet, as well as your fresh tank fill, so a gravity fill there. Black tank flush, which is nice too. So rather than having to take a hose all the way through the camper and sticking it in the back, you know, because the bathroom's all the way to the back. You don't want to bring in all that dirt and stick it down the toilet to wash it out. Now you just take that hose, put it in right there. That black tank has sprayers built in, and it washes it out nice and easily for you. If you need some outside water access, you do have the outside shower right here. Both hot and cold access right there. You see the hand wand, which you can just plop right there. It's kind of convenient too. And then right up here is your water heater, as well as the other side of your pass-through. All right, folks, that wraps it up. Again, this is the 2018 Mallard M185. If you're interested in this travel trailer and you'd like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description below. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.